What if I told you that the things that make a man truly never want to leave have absolutely nothing to do with how you look? There are certain qualities in a woman, quiet, rare, and deeply powerful, that attach themselves to a man's heart so completely that walking away becomes something he simply cannot bring himself to do. This video is about those qualities, and by the end of it, you will understand exactly what they are. There is a woman that a man simply cannot forget. Not because she was the most beautiful, not because she said all the right things, but because something about who she was, the way she carried herself, the way she made him feel, stayed with him long after she was gone. The things that make a man never want to leave have nothing to do with perfection. They have everything to do with something far more rare and far more real than that. She has her own life, and she loves it. One of the first things that makes a man deeply attached to a woman is realizing she does not need him to be complete. She has her own passions, her own goals, her own laughter that exists completely independent of his presence. This is not about playing games. This is about a woman who is genuinely full and who chooses to include him in that fullness. Psychology tells us that humans are most attracted to people who are already complete within themselves. A woman who has her own life is interesting, unpredictable in the best way, and brings something real to the relationship. A man who finds a woman like this does not just want to be with her, he becomes quietly terrified of losing her. She makes him feel accepted exactly as he is. Men carry a weight most people never talk about. The pressure to always be strong, to never show fear or the parts of themselves that feel broken. Most men spend their lives performing a version of themselves they think the world wants to see. Then they meet a woman who sees through all of that and stays anyway. A woman who does not try to fix him or change him, but makes him feel that all of it, his flaws, his contradictions, his rough edges, is genuinely worthy of love. That feeling of being completely accepted is one of the most powerful emotional bonds that can exist. And once a man experiences it, letting go becomes something that simply does not feel possible. She is honest even when it is uncomfortable. There is something deeply attractive about a woman who tells the truth. Not cruelly, but clearly, kindly, and without hiding her own feelings to manage his. A woman who says what she means and means what she says. Who does not play games or leave him guessing. Men crave this honesty more than most will ever admit, because in a world full of performance and pretense, a woman who is simply real feels like something so rare it takes his breath away. She brings peace into his world. Think about the people in your life who make everything feel calmer simply by being present, who walk into a room and the energy shifts completely, who make the heavy feel lighter just by being there. A woman who carries this quality is one of the most rare and deeply valuable people a man will ever encounter. She is not chaotic. She is not a source of constant drama that keeps him permanently off balance. She is steady, warm, and the kind of presence that makes him feel like he can finally exhale after holding his breath for too long. In a world already full of noise and pressure, a woman who represents peace becomes something a man protects with everything he has. Because once you have known that kind of calm in another person, the idea of living without it becomes genuinely unbearable. She challenges him to be better. The women who leave the deepest marks on a man's life are almost never the ones who simply agreed with everything he said. They are the ones who saw something in him that he could not yet see in himself and quietly, lovingly refused to let him settle for less. She asks questions that make him think deeper. She holds him accountable without making him feel ashamed. She inspires him not through pressure, but through the simple, powerful act of being someone worth growing for. A man who has a woman like this does not just love her, he becomes better because of her. And the version of himself she helped him discover becomes something he associates with her so completely that losing her would feel like losing the best part of himself. She makes ordinary moments feel extraordinary. It is not always the grand gestures that make a man fall permanently in love. More often it is the small things. The way she laughs at something silly on a Tuesday morning. The way she makes a simple dinner feel like an event worth remembering. The way she notices small beautiful things that most people walk right past. She has a gift for presence, for being so fully alive in each moment that the moments themselves become more vivid simply because she is in them. A man who has experienced this cannot imagine going back to the gray version of the world that existed before her. She loves him, but does not need him to survive. She loves him deeply and chooses him every single day. But she does not need him the way someone needs air or water. She was whole before him. She will be whole after him if it ever came to that. And that security, that quiet knowledge that she is with him because she genuinely wants to be, and not because she has no other option, changes everything about how he receives her love. It makes it feel precious, chosen, something worth appreciating every single day. A man does not fear losing what feels permanent. He fears losing what he knows is a genuine daily choice being made in his favor. And that fear keeps him present, attentive, and deeply committed. She remembers the small things. There is something quietly devastating about being truly remembered by someone. Not the big things. Anyone can remember a birthday or an anniversary. But the small things. The name of his childhood dog that he mentioned once in passing. The way he takes his coffee on a tired morning. The thing that makes him nervous that he only said out loud one time. A woman who pays this kind of attention makes a man feel like he is the most important thing in her world, not because she tells him so, but because her memory proves it. And that feeling of being genuinely seen and held in someone's mind with such quiet care is one of the most powerful forms of love that exists. It does not shout. It does not perform. It simply shows up in the small details and changes everything. She knows how to give him space without making him feel guilty. A woman who understands that a man sometimes needs space to think, to breathe, to simply be alone with himself, without turning that need into a crisis, is extraordinarily rare. She does not take his quietness personally. She does not punish his need for solitude with coldness or withdrawal. She simply gives him room to breathe and trusts completely that he will come back. And he always does, because there is nothing more suffocating than a love that cannot survive a few hours of silence. And nothing more freeing than a love that can. A man with a woman like this does not feel trapped. He feels trusted. And a man who feels trusted always comes home. She makes him want to be his best self. Not through pressure, not through comparison, not through making him feel that who he is right now is not enough, but simply by being someone so genuine, so grounded, and so full of quiet integrity that being around her makes him want to rise to meet her level. She does not ask him to be better. She simply is better and loves him while he gets there. That combination of acceptance and inspiration is the rarest thing in the world, and a man who finds it in a woman will spend the rest of his life making sure he never loses it. If this video spoke to something real inside you today, like it, share it with someone who needs to hear this, and subscribe because there is so much more waiting for you here. You are not ordinary, and neither is the love you deserve.